Hi, and welcome to the Flex with Aaliyah. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Today, talking about training and being sick. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? When should you train? What's the level of sickness where you should just take a rest day and chillax? So, if you're interested in learning about more and if you're pushing it to the limit a bit too much, then this is a perfect episode for you. I'm going to kick things off with a quote, and it's more of a generic saying, no pain, no gain. And that's such like a nice aggressive mentality, but that's not actually true. Depending on how you define pain, you do not want pain. Now, there could be mental strife, there could be soreness or grit, which is different than actual pain. Now, when it comes to being sick, a lot of people don't take off because they're scared they're going to lose all the progress they made, that they're going to get fat. The muscle that they have is just going to simply melt away over a couple of days and just turn into fat. And there's this idea that if you take a day off, you're just going to revert back to being a beginner. And that's just not true. You're not going to lose muscle. You'll actually come back rested, and you might progress faster because now you're healthy and in a good state. I will say there's probably a limit because there are times that I actually work out through being sick. Now, I'm not lying, clenching my side should go to the hospital sick, but maybe I have a headache or a runny nose or a cough, something like that. And those are mild symptoms. A sore throat, a runny nose, maybe some mild body aches. Symptoms that are above the neck, generally a safe rule of thumb that you could work out. It's not necessarily safe when the symptoms are below your neck. Could be fevers, chills, vomiting, diarrhea, chest pain, shortness of breath, weakness. That's usually a sign that there is some active infection inside you that your body is trying to work through. And you won't be as productive forcing yourself to work through that, especially if you're trying to make your body lift really heavy and work at a high intensity. Doing some mild workouts might be okay and tame enough where your body's not getting overstimulated and trying to recover from a workout and from being sick. So a good rule of thumb is to reduce the intensity and duration. I have clients who come and they still want to work out, and if it's one-on-one programming, I tailor the workout specifically for them being sick. If it is a group exercise class that I'm teaching, I can either usually visibly tell, or they'll come up to me and be like, I don't feel so well today. And we'll talk about what isn't feeling so well and then modify appropriately so they're not smashed after a workout and doing double recovery work. So just toning down the intensity. One of the things that's really hard for competitors to do, which many of you who listen to this podcast are, and we're all athletes to an extent, it's listening to our body, getting the rest that we need, eating when we need to. Today, for instance, I felt sick. I had a run outside, and I don't know, I'm not sure what transpired, but my stomach has been upset since doing that workout. So throughout the whole duration of the workout and then afterwards, I hadn't really been able to eat, and I felt not nauseous, but my stomach was very uncomfortable. And all I've been able to eat was like toast because I'm not actually hungry, but it's talking to me. And so I'm trying to settle it down with some very basic baseline food. I will say it hasn't done the trick, but I've been able to consume some calories because not eating was actually becoming detrimental to me and from a nutrition standpoint. And at some point you do have to force yourself to consume food if you're not feeling well, because I'm just going to feel worse tomorrow if I don't. So you do need to listen to it. Maybe if this persists tomorrow, you take a easy day. So light activity, you can go for a walk. And an easy bike ride. And you're still moving. It's not like you're just bedridden for a week when you're sick. I mean, sometimes if it's extreme, you might be. But on average, that's not really what's happening. Another good rule of thumb, like I had mentioned, my nutrition is hydration, drinking plenty of fluids, getting them in. And if I feel sick in my throat, I'm definitely drinking warm liquids. Maybe it's hot water, maybe it's a decaffeinated tea, but I'm just trying to keep my throat from drying out and making sure I'm ingesting enough fluids, especially in this winter sick season. So many people have come to the gym sick, or their kids have been sick, and it just passes through the gym. Some people can avoid it, some people might catch it, and you really want to stay on top of your game so you don't feel like crap for a whole week. And that's a testament to how well I take care of myself, is that I rarely get sick. That doesn't mean I won't get the sniffles or a sore throat or something like that, but I'm able to maintain a good enough lifestyle that keeps it at bay and it's not severe. Obviously, if it gets to a point where you should go to a doctor, go to a doctor. You know, if you're coughing up blood or some ugly phlegm, or you're wheezing when you are breathing, could be bronchitis, could be fluid in the lungs. You do want to get it looked at. I will admit that sometimes I am like the last person to get it looked at. But there are definitely times where that line comes really close and I'm like, I'm going to the doctor. And then I'll go. So you do have to be smart and take care of yourself while being sick, especially during the winter time. And I think that I've noticed many people get sick with the weather changes. It's cold one day, it's mild another day, and this back and forth just messes with their body, and people tend to get sick. On top of nutrition, you want to make sure you're getting enough rest. Sometimes, yes, it is harder to get the full hours of sleep that you need, but if you're able to consistently get enough, one day where you are a little shy of your hours isn't going to make or break you. But when you're sick, that rest is really important, especially if you want to go to the gym the next day. Go to bed a little earlier, and that will help you be able to get back to training or working out faster than if you just went so hard every single day when you're feeling like shit. Just being aware about how you feel and handling it appropriately is going to help you get through the sick season, or just being sick, because you can get colds in the summer too. Being conscious and taking care of your body is definitely going to help. So is it okay if you work out while you're sick? Yes. There are definitely some heavy hitters who are like, I want to sweat out my fever. That might not be the best idea, especially in a public place, because you don't want to get other people sick. But it is okay. Think about rule of thumb, symptoms from the neck up, it's okay to work out. Symptoms from the neck down, tone it back, maybe go see a doctor, and then you can move on with your training after a day or so. I'd love to hear from you. So if anyone has any questions about anything related to performance, obstacle course racing, or general health and wellness, shoot me a message and I'll make a podcast about it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, no pain, no gain is not always true. Take a couple steps back and listen to your body. I'll catch you next time on the Flex with Aaliyah. Remember, like, subscribe, share, and of course, stay flexy.